All right, transformations. Let's see. They are giving you an original function and a couple other functions, and they want you to notice what is happening. So let's see. They want you to figure out what the transformations are. So if you notice, this row is exactly the same as the y values in this row. What has changed? It looks like our x values, instead of starting at -2, are now starting at -1. So I believe this has been shifted right by 1. And let's see. Now let's compare. So now if I look at this x row and this x row, these x rows are the same. So let's think about how our y values have changed. I was at -2, but now I'm only at -1. I was at -1, but now I'm at 0. I was at -3, but now I'm at -2. All of these values appear to be shifted up 1 unit from the first one. So let's see, g of x is equal to this function f. How do I go right 1? X minus 1 in parentheses shifts everything right 1. How do I shift it up 1? So h of x must be f of x shifted up 1. And there's a YouTube video if you want to use the electronic version that explains that a little better. All right, let's see. How do I shift these functions left 2? So a left goes inside a parentheses with a plus sign. So all of these inside the function get a +2. Inside the function gets a +2. How do we go up 5? So that is outside the function with a +5. Outside the function with a +5. Outside the function with a +5. How do I flip it upside down? So that's in front of the function, with a minus. In front of the function with a minus. In front of the function with a minus. How do I stretch it by a factor of 2? So that's in front of the function with a ×2. In front of the function with a ×2. And in front of the function with a ×2. Okay, the original function is x cubed. What has happened? So this is a vertical shrink. It's less tall by a half. And this would go down 6. This is a flip over the x-axis. This would be right 6. This goes left 1 and up 5. Great. Classify as even, odd, or neither. This has odd origin symmetry, so it's odd. If I flip it upside down and then this way, it would overlap itself. This has y-axis symmetry, so it's an even function. And this also appears to be odd, right? If I flipped it upside down and flipped it this way. So this function is also odd. Table of values of an even function is given. So that means the y values need to match each other, even if the x values are opposite. So +6 and then -2. Because when you fold the book in half, they're going to touch each other like this one up here. So this is odd. So that means I'm reflecting it upside down and over the x-axis. So if I'm at 1, 2, I'm going to be at -1, -2. So it's going to kind of look like that. And then my y-intercept is going to be over here, something like that. I might have done better with patty paper, but flip it upside down and flip it over. That would be its reflection. Use the graph to answer the questions. Describe how it's transformed f of x to get g of x. So first I look like I flip it over this way, right? Flip it over the x-axis and then shift it, let's see, from positive 3, I'm at negative 3. So I'd say flip over the x-axis and shift it left 6. How do I write that as a function? So I would say g of x equals negative f of x plus 6 to go to the left. Describe in words what transformation should be done. It looks like we just need to shift to the right. How far? So let's see. So this peak, I'm going to estimate, let's say that's negative 5, and we need to shift it over to maybe negative 1. I'm going to estimate right 4, but if you said right a different amount, maybe right 3.5 or right 4.5 or right 5, I would count that as correct. All right, so I'm looking for the scale factor. The solid function is getting multiplied to get to f of x. So if I'm currently at negative 12.5, how do I get to negative 50? I would multiply by 4. If I'm currently at negative 1.5 and I have to get to positive 6, I'm going to multiply by negative 4 because it's flipping and it's getting steeper. And if you notice, this one was also getting steeper. What is the scale factor? So those are the scale factors. This is times 4 to get steeper, and this is times negative 4 to flip and get steeper.